Free with ZJH Grooming. We are here with another poodle who we do in a long haircut, more to the doodle side than a poodle side. He is full blood poodle. I'm just brushing him out before we give him a bath. Give him a bath. Get him all cleaned and dried out. Fluff up everything, and then we will be back to let y'all see how we do a haircut for a full or a thick coated poodle that we keep more in a doodle face. Alright, I'll see y'all in a little bit. Alright everyone, we are back. All bathed and dried. Do have some small little mats starting at the bottom of his ears. I'll show y'all how to take care of those and keep it to where you can still have your fluff on the outside but still maintain a good clean ear hygienic. Just passing the comb through one more time just before we start doing our guard comb, just because our guard comb, it acts like a comb, so that it will get down in there, and if you have a tangle, your guard comb won't pass right, and that's when you get like a choppy look. And no one likes a choppy look. I know. See? Sometimes if you have a hard little tangle like that, it's good to get your comb on it and then pinch behind it and hold the fur. That way you're not pulling directly on the skin. Kind of make it to where you're pulling on yourself. And if it's too big, take your comb out and grab one or two little strands with the tangle at a time and work it out that way. This will help keep you from having to cut out any tangles. When you're using a comb, make sure that you're getting all the way down to the skin, not just on the outer fluff. You want to make sure that you're getting everything out. Believe it or not, poodles do shed, and you will get some fur that will come out while you're brushing, so make sure that you brush correctly and all the way down to the skin. Because mats don't start on the outside of the fur, mats start at the skin. You want to make sure that you catch those before they get too bad. Unless you want to shave dog and then it's not that big of a deal because you want to shave it anyway. Make sure you get in the toe and the foot area, right behind the pad. So right in this area, right behind your pad, that is a big tangle spot. You want to make sure that you get that, but you want to also watch to make sure that you're not catching, if they have dew claws, you don't want to catch their dew claw. You don't want to catch any webbing that's in the toes itself. Always use your full hand to lift. Don't push or don't use your comb or anything like that. Use your full hand, open up wide, and support their entire body when you're lifting them up. Support their leg while you're brushing the foot area. Tail, same thing. You want to hold the base while you're brushing and combing it out. As you can see, you do get some fur that will come out. sure you get all the way down to the skin. Hold the toes, comb to you. If you're having some troubles, brush it the opposite way. 9 times out of 10, your tangle is closest to you. What's happening is that you're trying to brush all the fur with the tangle. So if you take and you brush the opposite way, you're brushing at just the tangle instead of the entire selection of fur that you're brushing at. It makes it a little bit easier to work that tangle out. The easier it is to work out, the less painful it is for the dog, and the more that they won't fight you. So if you have a super fighty dog, chances are you're trying to pull too much fur with the tangle and what the dog prefers. Just lift up the leg. Make sure you brush in the underarm area. That is a very well-known spot for tangle to start and be hidden, and you not see it and be in your daily routine. So it becomes a mat, and we have to shave it out. If they want to sit, let them sit. Work around everything that you can work around until they have to stand. Alright. So I've already done a pre-cut here. We pre-cut with a 1-inch guard comb. We're going to be testing out and seeing Mountain Likes a super fluffy look. So we will be testing out to see how well a 1-inch will look, or if we can go a little bit shorter, because here in Texas it is still super hot. And most dogs are not happy with this super hot weather. So on my clippers I have a 30-inch number 30 blade with a 1-inch guard comb. We're going to clip with the fur. So when I say with the fur, it's in the direction that the fur grows. So you just take the clippers and you follow along in the direction that the fur will grow. Certain areas you can do while they're sitting. It's not a problem. Front shoulders, back, some of the side. And then when you get to the back, to the actual back leg area, then you will need him to stand. Get the neck, take the ear, lift the ear up, and you want to go right in the back of the ear, right underneath it, and sweep that area out. And then we'll follow that line all the way across the back, over to the other ear. And that will give you your nice straight line that you want on their back hip, on the back of their head. Sometimes your look will be in your way. Work around it and wait to take that off until you're actually working on the face. That way you don't have to take it off and on constantly. So normally I will do from the loop on the back of the head all the way back, do the entire body, and then I will come back and do the face and then the feet. back area. We need to do his chest and belly. Because when he is sitting, that is all hidden from you and you cannot see it, so you cannot hook it. Run down the leg straight. When you're using a guard comb, you do have to use multiple passes just because the hair will lay down, in and out, just hair. So you will have to pass multiple times. I advise if you're using cordless clippers like these, try to do a lot of your cutting that you can do with a corded one first and save your finishing trim or your cordless ones, just because you don't want to have to sit there and have your battery die on you while you're in the middle of clipping them. Just because it does kind of take quite a few passes to get all the fur down. Back leg, take it along the front, follow it along. You do not want to push too much because you do not want your guard to slip over the thigh and then your blade be all the way down to the skin. It's just going to give you a gash look and you're not going to like it. Some dogs do like to try to sit. You can grab them by the tail and hold it, give it an upward hold, and that will persuade them to stay standing for you long enough for you to do that trim. Grab the foot, lift it. You don't want to overextend them, you just want to lift it a little bit, kind of like when they hike their leg to go to the bathroom. I will go ahead and finish trimming up the body and I will bring y'all back when it's time for the face. Alright, so now we're working on the face. And what I like to do is, as long as you know that your dog's not going to jump off on you, take your loop and kind of get out of the way. So always grab them, just kind of pinching the hair on the chin, just to kind of hold their face where you want it. You're going to take your clippers, you're going to run over the top. We're doing just the 1 inch all the way around, just to give them that doodle look, because that's what mom and dad like. They like the doodle look. So, we'll come up to the base, kind of straighten out the head, and run the guard comb all the way across, all the way down the neck. This will give you an even line to where it's not as noticeable that you have multiple angles cutting in. We'll come straight down the sides, just like this, right in front of the ear, run straight. This will give you more of your doodle look. The base of the chin, lift up, and you want to do the bottom of the chin. Take a lift here, cover that base, all the craziness out of there. We all know the base of the ear can be a little crazy looking. Take and run along the side of the chin, straight back. Make sure that your guard comb is not touching inside the ear as well. Same thing on this side. He's not even made a gear yet. So face, take it along the nose, over the eyes. You do not want to stab him in the eye, so make sure that you are aware where your guard comb points are. Like I said earlier, this is guard comb, so we have to pass multiple times in the same area, just because that's how the fur reacts. Fur lays down, folds over, all kinds of craziness, so you just have to keep on working around it. Catch all the new angles as they pop up on you. And normally you have to pass at least 4 to 5 times. So don't be surprised if you're sitting there and you just continuously going. And you'll see this whining at me, because he does not like me holding his face. Hey, face up. Gotta do underneath here. Sometimes if they're fighting you for their face, you can grab one ear, hold it between your thumb and your index finger, and then grab the base of the other ear with the rest of your fingers, and hold it that way. You get a little more control, and they're a little more sensitive to their ears being held, so they won't move as much if you hold them that way. Will not stop all moving, but it will kind of calm them down and not make them move as much, and give you a little bit more control over that face. Especially when you're working in super sensitive areas like their ears and their eyes. Another technique is to take and hug them and hold their chin this way so that you can work in their eye areas. Alright, that is the 1 inch all the way around. From the face to the toes. As you can see, he has the look. It just needs to be a little refined and a little bit cleaned up. He does have some matting underneath one of his ears. So what we will do is switch out our blade to a number 10. Drop our clippers down to their lowest setting. And what we're going to do is we're going to shave out the base and underneath the lid, right to the very edge. Now, don't run your clippers all the way until there's no fur. That will give you a clip to the leather look, and that's not what we're going for. We're basically going, the mat is at the base of the ear, so we are going to eliminate the hair under the ear, which will help get it off. And then we're going to do a disguise look. Turn your face. Turn your face. Get it off the loop, please. Thank you. So if your lip is doing this and getting in your way, take it off. Get it out of your way. Right now I'm just shaving out the base and the underneath, and you just want to secure their face. So if they don't do any jumping like that, hey. That's enough. That's enough. No, you stop that. Now, see, it's not that bad. Sometimes you just have to take your time with them and give them a firm grip. Do not let them win. If they start shaking around and thrashing like that, and you just kind of give up, they've won. And now, anytime you try to do that, they know if they thrash and they fight, you'll give up. And you will let them win. So, do not let them win. If you lose grip, grab it again. Do not let them win until they are fully relaxed before you release their ear, saying that you're done with it. Please take your ears and fold them up. Make sure that they're not in the groomers when you put it back on. Alright, so on this ear, what we're going to do is take the top fur, fold it over. Some groomers will carry these little hair clips. Some do not. If you do not, I advise that you do. They do come in use, especially when handling poodles. Just to kind of clip up some fur and get it out of your way. So what we're going to do is we're going to find our mats, and we're with that upper fur away from us. We're going to clip off that mat. Take that mat out. Now there is another one a little bit further back. May have to reposition some hair to get to it. So what we've done is we have lifted all the upper top fur away from the ear, lifted it up and away, basically to give us access to the actual leather of the ear itself. So underneath you could see it, but now you cannot. It's all been hidden. Just easiest way to do it and still maintain your ear without having to rechange and remodify your ear completely. Because mom and dad do like their ears, like his ears a little bit longer, a little bit fluffier. Yes, I know your brother's in here. Come on. Look at me. So as you can see, no real change in the ear from that one to this one. Basically all it does is makes it look clean or cleaned up without actually having to do any trimming with my shears. So that is for the ears. On the face, I use thinning shears is what I use. They're low 6 inchers, 42 tooth shears, and I'll kind of give it a little brushing with your fingers, just to kind of make the fur lay the way that it's going to lay. Angle your shears in. So the way that I'm angling my shears is at a 45-degree angle, right at the base of the eye, trimming out basically where the little eye gunk builds up. You want to trim that out just to help prevent eye gunk building up. I will take the upper portion of the eyelid, kind of trim that away. From the base just because it had kind of a harsh line to it, so we use our thinning shears to take the harsh lines out. They take some fur but not all the fur, so it kind of gives it more of a blended look versus a sharp line where it's like, oh, look at where he cut that fur off. Makes it look a little more natural. of the nose. So if you clip it, it has to stay clipped. If you're going to let it grow, you have to let it grow. You cannot trim it in between until it is the full length that you want. Otherwise, you end up with fur like this. So if you let it grow, it will fold over and hang with the rest of the face. If you trim it, you have to keep it short, otherwise it does this, and it will be just up in the eyes. To do that, you just maintain that 45-degree angle, and you just run along the edge of the nose, all the way down to the end. Top of the nose, just lay it straight across. That is how the nose is. The nose is flat on the top. I'm going to run it all the way up to the stop. So now when you get between the eyes, you want to kind of angle backwards a little bit, just right in that corner. It just helps open up your eyes a little bit more. This is one thing that you will learn as you're clipping hair or trying to maintain things. You have to know when to just call it and say, okay, I've trimmed enough hair, because no matter what you do, you will always have a spot here and a spot there and a spot here. You trim up this, now you have to trim up this. You have to learn how to just call it quits. Otherwise, you will spend all day working on just one portion of a dog. Poodles are very bad about that, just because their coat is naturally curly and just woolly and sheepy, and you can spend all day working on just a top knot. Just trimming here, trimming there, trimming here, brushing, fluffing, trimming again, and call it quits. Pass your hand over it, dog shakes, and all of a sudden something's sticking up somewhere else. So just learn how to say, I trimmed enough, this looks good. Because if you look for perfection, you're going to drive yourself insane. Just because it is super hard to get a poodle fur to be absolutely perfect. Yes, there is people out there who can do it, but 9 times out of 10 they own their poodle and they groom their poodle every single day. So it's a matter of, oh, let me catch this one little hair each day. It's not, oh, I see this dog every 6 weeks and it's outgrown the haircut that I had, and I have to trim all this fur and wash it, dry it, brush it, trim all this fur again. It's time consuming. And you look for absolute perfection, you're going to drive yourself insane. Not saying not to go for perfection. I'm just saying do not go for absolute perfection. My job is to give quality haircuts to my customers, and I do like to give quality haircuts. But I have learned over the years how to call it quits. These are 10-inch shears. If you do use long shears like these, be mindful of where your tip is, because you may be trimming the base of the ear like this, and you curve and you trim, and you don't notice, and you start cutting the back of the dog's head or something like that. You may be trimming the back of the neck, and you may catch the ear with it. So it's something to keep in mind. Always be mindful of where the tips of your shears are. So you just take your shears, 45-degree angle, base of the chin, and this is one of the hardest techniques, is to actually learn to hold your hand still enough to get a straight line. jagged line every 2 inches. So as I move closer to the eye, I actually move closer to the tip of the shears versus the back of the shears. When I'm working on the side of the face, I can use the full shear. So as you can see, from one side to the other side, it's not absolute perfect, but it's a clean, sleek look. That's what you want. You want a clean, sleek look. That's what your customer's going to like. Yes, they would probably love you if you could do it absolutely perfect every single time. But just the mathematics of it will not allow you to do it that way. And I will see y'all back when we are doing the feet. Alright, so we are back here to finish up our feet. We do still have to do the sanitary as well. So when doing the feet, you want to clean off the top of your table. Easiest way is to take your comb and just brush it. Always pick up their feet, shake out the furthest off the bottoms. Top of the table. That way, when you're trimming up their feet, you don't mistaken the fur that you've already trimmed that's on your table for the fur that's actually attached to the foot. That way, you can make sure that you're trimming everything that you want to be trimming. For feet, one of the easiest ways to do it: get your dog to stand straight as they would normally stand. I normally start at the very tip of the toes. So you take your shears, you open them up a little bit, find that nail, find the tip of that nail, and take a cut. Then holding my shears backwards, my pinky is supposed to be over here, so it's actually backwards. It turns the curve. This will turn the curve going around the inside. If you hold it correctly, that will curve your shears going along the outside. So you just follow the edge of the foot, take and flip your shears the correct way, put your arm underneath the dog, and follow the same pattern. Some dogs' coats, depending on their coat type and what style of foot that you're going for, will depend on which direction and how deep in you cut. You may want to leave more fur for a certain style of foot. So we will lift the foot up, and I come along the edge. You can't see it on this foot, but I'll show you on the front foot. I come along the edge and just clean it up right where the nails would be. Not actually trimming anything on the top of the foot. This would be mainly under the foot area. Take it, run your hand across. Let your foot sit back down. Now you can see where your fur is for the top of the foot. And to give a nice round look, you actually hold your foot forward. No, you cannot sit on the foot. No. Stand your foot forward, and I will demonstrate this a little bit better on the front foot, but basically you kind of treat it like doing a top knot. You kind of treat it like doing a top knot, and you just work up and over, just to kind of round it out. You want to be careful that you don't point, that you don't make the front of the toe look pointed. You don't want no feet kind of thing. Some people will find it a little bit more comfortable to work from the back of the foot forward. You can do this, it just, when you do it this way, the fur wants to lay down more. So you do have to keep in mind that your fur is laying down, and you do have to trim a little bit more, or you have to back brush it, trim it, back brush it, trim it multiple times, versus doing it the way that I do it from the front to the back. That allows me to do it all within one trimming versus multiple trimmings doing it the opposite way. Once you have your foot completely trimmed up, you just want to kind of trim up on the leg a little bit just to even everything out, make sure everything blends in smoothly. Oh, I know, you're so tired, aren't you? We have been doing this that long. No, it hasn't been that long. Alright, so his foot does have a little bit of a point to it, but I will fix that when I file his nails down. That will give me a little more room to play with. I always like to trim my feet before I do their nails, just for in case I need that extra room. If you file the nails and then trim the foot, you have no extra play, so you can't adjust anything after you do nails. You've already done the nails, so it's too late. So same thing with the front foot. Let them stand. Kind of spread out their feet a little bit and kind of give them a little shake of their shoulders just to make them stand up straight. And we'll do the same thing. Find the tip of the nails, trim. Using curved shears, we go around the foot like this. You can do this with straights. It just takes a tad bit longer because the straights you have to actually make all the straight edges and then go in and take out your straight edges. So it's kind of a double kind of situation. You can do this with your shears backwards. That works as well. There's different ways to hold your shears. Find the way that that's most comfortable for you. This is the most common way to hold shears. You do have your foot. This would be where your pinky goes. Your ring finger goes in the hole, not your middle finger. And then your index and your middle finger rest on the front, like this. And then your thumb, just the tip of your thumb. You do not put your entire thumb. Your shears should not come up to your back knuckle like you're wearing a ring. It should be on just the tip. Normally mine only go up to my right at the base of my nail. So that is how you actually are supposed to hold shears. You can use your index finger to kind of help guide you a little bit more, so you can do a little bit further outreach. But normally I hold mine like this and trim. So back to the foot. So when you lift up your foot, you give it a little bit of a slight twist, not too much. You don't want to hurt the dog. Their arms are not like our shoulders. They do not actually rotate sideways. They are designed to rotate forward. So you take, lift up. You want to look at the base of the pad. So I'm trimming underneath. I cut across their big pad in the back. Then I come right along the edge with a 45-degree angle, following the curve to the back of the foot. And same thing for the other side, 45-degree angle, curve to the back of the foot. Don't worry about where you're holding the foot, because when you set your foot back flat, you will be able to see it and trim up anything that you missed or anything that you caused to stick out a different way. So give their foot a little bit of shake. That's just to kind of get the fur off of them, kind of straighten everything out like it would normally be. And then you want to check your work and see what needs to still get a little bit of a trim. Because we're doing such a long coat, this foot will look bigger. It will have like a thicker look, fluffier look. So you want to keep that in mind. When you're trimming things, you want it to have that fluffy look. You don't want it to have a sharp, blunt edge where it's, oh, look at where that ends, look at where that scissor line is. You don't want that. And yeah, you can sit, that's fine. If they want to sit, that's fine. You can work on their feet while they're sitting. You can do their nails, you can do their feet, you can do everything. Let the dog be comfortable. If your dog is comfortable, they don't fight you as much. Keep that in mind. So if you're fighting your dog a lot, chances are it is uncomfortable. Let it adjust. Let it move. If your dog wants to be a certain way or look a certain way, let them. You work around the dog. If you work around the dog, your job will be much easier and go by much faster than if you sit there and fight the dog for the entire groom. Fight the dog for your entire groom, you will not have a good groom, you will not have a good finish, and your customer will not be happy. And the excuse, oh, your dog just doesn't keep still. That's not a very good excuse, because this dog is not even a year old. Look at how perfect it's been on the table for me. And this is only its second groom. It's all with how your demeanor is. So you cannot go into work high strung, on edge, waiting for something to go wrong kind of an attitude. You have to go in just happy, ready to meet the dogs of the day, enjoy your work. Otherwise, you will fight dogs all day long. You will go home tired. Your tip money will be not that great because people aren't going to be that satisfied with the grooms. Because a dog that fights does not get a very good haircut. I know. I've seen them. I've never done them, but I've seen them. I've been very lucky with not really having to fight too many dogs. I did used to work for PetSmart, and yes, I did have some troublesome dogs that do come in through there. But it's just a different environment, and they react to it. Which is why I really like doing this in-home grooming the way that I do it, because dogs never really have to leave home, and they like that. This dog is in the room that it sleeps in at night. It got bathed in the tub that mom bathes it in. It's something that is just another day for this dog. It's not, oh, a trip to the vet. Oh, a trip to the groomer. It never even had to walk out its front door. So I have found when they do not have to walk out their front door, they're much happier dogs. Some of my customers have asked me if I'm going to do a mobile truck or anything like that. But I kind of like it the way that I do it. I don't need kisses, dude. So when you're working with your feet, keep in mind the angle of your shears, keep in mind other areas of the dog. You don't want to take off a toe or anything like that. You don't want to cut them on their bellies or anything, because dogs do like to take and fold their legs in to their belly area. You just want to go for a nice round look. Make them stand. That way you can get an accurate look on the actual toes. Make sure everything's straight and lined up. And I am loving these 10-inch shears. They are amazing. I was debating whether or not I would have been able to use them on the feet, and they have worked out perfectly for the feet. It works great for under the dog, around the ankles. They have been great. So if you've been debating about getting a set of 10-inch shears, granted, these are kind of a cheap version. These are Paul Brother shears. Not that cheap, but they are on the cheaper side. But they're good for testing. Just to see if I like the length, if I like the feel of them, make sure everything works right with them before I go and spend $300 or $400 on a set of shears that I don't like. Shears do make the difference, just like your blades. Keep them in good condition. Don't let them sit out and get all rusted. And rusty shears do not cut like clean shears. Alright, so that is pretty much everything. I still have to do the sanitary. So for the sanitary, we grab the tail, lift up the tail. Keep your clippers on low. If you use a number 10 blade on their sanitary areas. I will tell you now, not all dogs, pretty much no dogs, like their sanitary done. It's just a fact of grooming. Generally. Like some clippers between your cheeks. Lift up the leg, and you're going to shave the inner thigh and just kind of graze off of the back. He is still intact, so you have to trim around those things. Those wonderful little goose eggs, as I call them. And do make sure that you trim around them. Do not want to leave them unshaved because they do get mats. And matted gonads are not something that is very fun to play with. So we'll go down the dinker and along the sides. Make sure you get up in that belly area. Now, as far as for the dinker, you go about 2 fingers width in front. And you do want to use caution in this area because they kind of scrunch it up, which then causes there to be a little flap of skin. So you want to make sure that you do not nick the skin right in front of their dinker. You'll switch sides and do the other leg in the same way. We're going to do the inner thigh all Next up, we need to shape paw pads. For this, I use a number 40 blade. Kind of shake off your foot a little bit. You want to go in between the little pads. Be careful because there is some webbing in there, so you want to use caution. And this is why I use a number 40. One of the other things with using a number 40 is it does heat up faster. So you have to be mindful of how long it's taking you to trim up the foot. Just because you don't want it to get too hot and then burn their feet. Now you have that feet up, go ahead and do both sides, not just one. You do this all from the same side. If you're righty, you do it on the left-hand side of the dog. If you're lefty, you do it on the right-hand side of the dog. It's just for the way that you hold everything, that's how it works. So a good way to check your blade to see if it's too hot is touch yourself with it. If it's so hot that you cannot touch yourself and hold it on your skin, guess what? It's burning the dog. Change your blade, use some blade cool, something to cool down your blade. I use a ceramic little plate that I put my blades on so they can cool faster. I don't use Cool Care if I don't have to. Alright, that is the bottom of the paw pads. Next up, we will do the nails. And then this dog will be done, and I'll be back in 1 second and I will show you the finished product. Alright everybody, and this is our finished poodle that looks like a doodle. I may take a little bit more off the top of the ear just so it curves in better. Just because you can kind of see that, how big and poofy it is towards the top. I may take that down a little bit more. So this is a 1-inch guard comb all the way around, hand scissored tail, hand scissored feet, and scissored in face. I did take a guard comb over the face just to take the bulk off, but it is still scissored in just to finish it up. So that is how we do a poodle to look like a doodle. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a wonderful day and book an appointment with ZJH Grooming.